the kicking game is so important.
Yep.
More than ever now because the defences are so good. You can't just let a halfback just have his way and be unprotected and no pressure because that's what's going to end up happening.
Yeah.
Coaches are going to go, all right, just let him kick.
So should it be okay? It's a joke you said about the 10 in the bin. Should it still have been a penalty?
No,
nothing.
I don't. It was it wasn't damaging.
No.
He was by the time he kicked it, he was a good metre away, and it was just his momentum from Daniel Atkinson going, and his actual foot hit his leg.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a penalty, let alone 10 minutes in the bin. That changed the game.
Yeah, of course.
Hillstorm Hillary would be frothing. I know she's frothing on Vlad, but she would have been that angry.
Yeah.
Because they scored when Harry was off.
You know, it's hard, right? Because rugby league fans, so currently a lot of rules are black and white. It's black and white. So there's no interpretation. So you'll see an obstruction, but the guy was nowhere near getting them, stuff like that. And then as soon as we go to discretion, people go, it should just be black and white. So it's a really hard one. Well,
there was another one too, the disruptor.
Yeah.
The disruptor the other night, I think it was Ramian might have. He was going for the ball.
Yep.
But then pulled out his hand at the last minute. They're saying that's a disruptor.
Yep. Why can't you have a disruptor?
Exactly. Are you allowed? You can't yell anymore.
Well, you can't tackle them in air. So if you go and disrupt and play party tricks, do whatever you want.
I just don't think the kickers should get everything their own way.
No.
Playmakers now, we know you can't be hit late without the ball, so they got no fear of going into the line and getting whacked.
Yep.
You know, the halves are very important, as we know, to rugby league teams. They've got to put a little bit of pressure on you.
Just with Harry Grant, so this is very interesting because if he wins the case, so it was only a $1,000 fine, Brian.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, why is he even bothering? Well, I'll tell you why he'd be bothering, and the Melbourne Storm would be bothering, because what if he does something very similar in, say, round 27 or perhaps in a prelim final?
You're thinking Load Central.
Load Central. So that's why you've got to challenge it. It's not about the $1,000.
I just want it consistent, and that's all we ask in this game.
Yep.
That's all the 10 minutes.
So what's going to happen? He'll get off?
I think he'll get off.
Yeah.
I think he'll get off.
Or do you think they'll hold their ground because the fine's so trivial? They'll just say, no, you pay.
Well, the referees and the match review committee are two totally different businesses. If we're talking like that, so sometimes the referee will send someone off and then they'll get off. But you could see that wasn't damaging.
Of course, he was shocked. No, I do agree with that. And Danny Wilder reporting Mitch Moses. Oh, Brian will not play.
Will
not play. So Danny Wilder's reporting that he won't play against the Melbourne Storm. There was some murmurs as you were all over that he would, but Danny's saying that he won't. So we'll keep an eye on that. NRL Round 10, here's how it played out.
Chase, but Walsh is going to go over, and I'm wondering if Ezra Mann's run some interference back here.
Cherry Evans intercept here by Aitken. He's got one to beat. He beats Waddell, and he'll score. Cherry Evans went to short side. Ewan Aitken was waiting, and the Dolphins hit back.
Dragons, Sloter's with it. Kick and chase. Sloter's getting through. Mitchell doesn't clean up, and the Dragons are there. Jack DeBellin.
Knights can find a space. Armstrong, he does exactly that. Pops his nose through the line, gives it to Greg Marju.
That came off a dog. That'll be 6 more. Brian To'o is going to go to the line. Beats one, beats a second, turns around, scores the try.
Tackle by DWZ. Walker will kick it 50 metres across the field. What a play! Sam Walker! Why bend it like Beckham when you can kick it like Croc?
Stopping AJ Brimson for Feeder. Picks it up from dummy half. Barges his way over. That's a way to silence the boos from the crowd. He gets the cheers as he scores a 4-pointer for his team.
A time for the Melbourne Storm, but they dearly love to get it off this kick, which doesn't have much trajectory on it, and it's a terrific catch by Mulatalo, and he got away. He burned Welsh, then he got through. Now the pass to Talakai. Goodbye!
Okay, goodbye round 10. And off to Magic Round we look. But for now, the Sharks 25 defeat the Melbourne Storm 18. 5 straight wins for the Sharkies, Brian. No Nico Hines. There was no, of course, Jerome Hughes or Pappy either. But that ends a 14-game winning streak for the Melbourne Storm at Amy Park. Harry Grant was the big story, of course. We spoke about that. Daniel Atkinson, absolute breakout performance. He's been terrific since coming in. And I'll tell you what, a couple of years ago when they finished in the top 2, the Sharkies, there was no Atkinson, there was no Hazelton, there was no Kafusi. So quite a newer looking side anyway, but they look pretty primed, don't they, the Sharks?
Yeah, it was their defence. It was a very Craig Fitzgibbon-like effort. That's how he liked to defend, and he was inspiring when you played with him. So I can imagine what the message was to the Sharks. And they played a simple game of footy. They completed pretty well. They kicked and chased. Yeah. I mean, when they say it's a simple game, well, that's all they did. That's all they did.
Can they, Brian?
I think they can.
They can.
I think they can. I think they've learned a lot after the last 2 years going out the back door.
Yeah. So the analyst who goes on Jimmy's program, very, very sharp. He's always said it's a 4-horse race. It's Penrith, Roosters, Melbourne, Broncos, and no one outside that. But you're prepared to say,
just for the fact that they learned so much from going out the back door. The knock on them was, they're good. 26 rounds. They beat up on the lower teams and all that sort of stuff. But this might be, they know what to do now.
Yep.
Like they have the blueprint now, albeit without Jerome Hughes, who's a huge loss. Yep. But still, it's Melbourne down there.
Last year, Penrith won the comp 13 points a game they were conceding on average. The Sharkies are the best at the moment with 14, so they're right there.
They've got this will be the test. So they're playing against the Chooks, who are averaging about 50 points a game the last 3 weeks. So,
the biggest thing that could happen to them, I reckon, if I was Craig Fitzgibbon, I'd be desperately hoping they pick Nico. If Nico plays halfback for New South Wales, gets the job done, mate, he turns up to the final series
Confidence.com.
100%. If he can conquer the biggest stage, they are right there. I know you don't want to lose him because you want to keep him for your team, but if he can go on the biggest arena, maybe jag a man of the match, win the series for the for the Blues, I reckon that dramatically helps their chances.
What happened last year when Cleary was out? Was Nico injured as well, or they just went for Moses? I can't remember. Because there was talk.
Yeah.
What happened? I just think he got overlooked, didn't he?
I think so.
Because they went for Moses and Cody.
He had a really rough game against Melbourne. One of the games he was really rough.
It was Melbourne.
Yeah, was that the game that sort of, I think it looked to be his.
Yep.
And then he just had a torrid night.
Yep.
And it got taken from him. Maybe that's it, but I really hope, I'd love to see him pick him. Harry Grant and Craig Bellamy, here's what they had to say in the press conference about the sin bin.
You obviously can't pump their legs. So we'll go in over the top and wrap them up. Just hope we don't hit them late. Harry wasn't even looking, at the end of the day, I suppose he's got to take that responsibility and, okay, look where you're going and try and avoid making contact there. But, at the end of the day, that's out of my control, and, at the end of the day, if that's what they want to do,
I was ready to challenge it, so it would have been the worst challenge in history. I guess they've set that now, so I had no eyes for Acco or putting that type of pressure on. I was pulling myself away from dangerous contact, and I just clipped his leg. So I understand that I put him in a dangerous position, and I put our team under the pump and paid the price there. And I think, unfortunately, it cost us.
Tell you what, that's interesting. He says that, like him saying, "I understand, I put him in a dangerous position," but now they're challenging the.
He probably had a look. That was straight after the game.
But surely the match review can just say, "Well, you said this yourself."
Yeah, it's different. We're not in a criminal court. We're not in a criminal court here. But I'm saying it's going to come to a time where a kicker can do whatever he wants. He can just run up. He can just keep going, and no one. I can't touch the kicker. It's unfair that blokes who play in the middle, who've got to do all the hard stuff, then all these glamour boys can just kick without any pressure on them. I'm moving on, Brooksy.
Okay, let's move on to your team. Cheer up. 38 points to 18. The Roosters defeat the Warriors.
Yeah.
22 zip after 13 minutes. And we spoke about this earlier. So Young had a double, Crichton had a double. Young had a try, Crichton had a double. Speed. The wingers with speed. Like Dom Young scores tries that just simply others won't.
Yeah, I know. He scored one. He didn't have much. He flirted with the touchline.
Yeah.
The Roosters playing with a lot of confidence. Unorthodox.
Yeah.
Sammy Walker is one of the most unorthodox players
Love it.
I've seen.
Yep.
You know, he loves a little chip chase.
Love it.
That kick we saw over to Daniel Tupu.
Yep.
When they're going good, they're very hard to stop, but this can unravel.
Yeah, but it
can
can
unravel.
It can, but I think that's what you got to do. It's a bit like, Reece Walsh last year with the Broncos and doing it to a point this year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of errors, but when it clicks, gets the crowd in the game, gets up and about. You can't out Penrith right now, can you?
No, but the Chooks at the moment, they actually look really good with Connor Watson at hooker.
Yeah.
Like
somebody threw him up as a bowler for the Blues.
Well, he can play a lot of positions, but I think they looked a lot more crisp with Connor Watson than Brandon Smith.
So how would you play Brandon?
I don't know.
Maybe you do the you're proposing Cam McGuinness to start Origin, Appy comes on. Maybe you do that with Brandon Smith, starting for 20 at hooker. Then when Connor comes on, he just owns the spot.
And then we can play Cheese in the back row.
Yeah.
Remember the Cheese? He was playing a bit of front row down in Melbourne. Remember that when they played him during the middle?
He was. So there you go there. Now, just coming out of this. That's 4 straight losses now for the Warriors. And Sean Johnson, a pec injury. So these halves are dropping. So they've got no Metcalf, no Harris Tavita. They're also out as well. Dragons 28 defeat the Rabbitohs 14. Now, I couldn't see. I was on the paint roller, Brian. I was rolling the walls, and so I couldn't watch the game, but I was listening to some of it. Latrell Mitchell, he scored a couple of tries, but how did he play?
Scored 2, set up 1. He didn't run for 100 metre. He was still doing that when they kick down. He just offloads to his wingers.
Why do they persevere with him at fullback?
Well, they've got no other fullback. Who are you going to put in?
Well, not now they don't, but...
I would have thought if Jai Gray, sorry.
Yep.
Or Jai Arrow, maybe fullback. Jai Gray, if he was healthy, you'd think Hornby would have been tempted to move
probably.
Or do we put Jackie Whiten back down?
100%.
Or they just swap them over?
100%. Or you hybrid it. Just give them both a crack there. So there you go. 4 straight losses for the Rabbitohs. Jaden Sewer remains unsigned.
He
was pick him up.
He was very good. Very, very good.
Was he?
Big and powerful. He'll be. I think I noticed Gordon's got him in his Origin squad.
Yeah, I saw that in his rolling Queensland squad.
Is he off contract this year? No,
it's the following one. But he can. Yeah, he's got
to be this will be a November 1 jobby.
Yep. Correct.
Hello, Dolphins. Oh no, Wayne. Gotcha. Wayne Sewer. Yeah, Cromie. Jaden Sewer. South Sydney bound.
You think so?
Yep.
Back with Wayne?
Back with Wayne.
Okay. All right.
Just crowed you. Sorry, Brooks.
All righty. Let's see how that plays out. Titans 20. They led 20 blot. They defeat the Cowboys 18. They absolutely fell in. What's going on with the Cowboys, Brian?
Oh, it's defensive lapses. The lapse central. It's
Are they a factor or not a factor? You've seen enough.
Yeah, I've seen enough. Unfortunately, that's 5 on the bounce. Now they've got beat. They can score tries from here. I don't know what was Valdas doing. You see Val in the corner?
No.
So Val, all he had to do was point the ball. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah,
this is what I want to bring in because AFL have got a point for if you get it behind.
Yep.
So if you get over the line, you get a point.
Okay.
You don't have to put the ball.
So
down.
if you're held up,
if you drop the ball,
that's our behind.
But you just got to get over. It was worth 1 point.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, they're given points for being a loser.
Yeah, I like it.
I think Val gets a point.
That's good. We'll start scoring games like that, see how it plays out. The Newcastle Knights 20 defeat the West Tigers 17. No, they didn't. They defeated them 14. 3 straight wins for the Knights. Bradman Best performance. He likes the timing around Origin, doesn't he? David Armstrong, he's fitting in nicely, but copped to HIA.
Yeah, he's a live wire.
What do they do with when's Ponga back, by the way?
Oh, it's a Lizzie Franks.
So what does that mean?
That's 12-week jobby.
Yeah. So,
always 12 weeks.
So what happens?
Liz Frank equals 12 weeks.
What do you do with Armstrong?
Lance?
Yeah.
Neil, it's a bit like Trey Fuller. Hammer's back this week.
Yep.
Trey Fuller has to be in the squad somewhere.
14.
Somewhere.
Yeah. What about that try? We'll get to that in a minute. Adam O'Brien on getting the 2 points. Here's what he had to say.
Without stating the obvious, that's the main thing. Let's just bank this 2 points and make it a somewhat enjoyable bus trip home tonight. There was some stuff there. Certainly our review will have some moments like Brody Jones chasing down that line break and Bradman's 7-odd line breaks. There'll be some really good stuff, and then there'll be some stuff that will be quite painful to watch at times. So I thought we lacked a bit of discipline, but I don't want to unpack that now. I just want to enjoy the 2 points and get ready for next week.
Okay, there you go.
He was up and about. That's Adam O'Brien. We're getting excited.
It sounds like he gets bored of his own chat, doesn't it? Halfway through, he sort of
just drops off.
Yeah, just drops off.
I'd love to see a coach come in a press conference and just start cracking some jokes.
Yeah, like a bit of fun. Why are they so serious?
Why so serious?
Why so serious? Panthers are serious about defending this three-peat. They defeat the Bulldogs 16-10. Cleary's the big news, of course. The Bulldogs just keep improving. In fact, the Bulldogs, Brian, they have the third best defence in the comp. How does that? They had the worst last year.
Yeah, no, they're the big improvers. Hope he took the $4.25 to make the 8.
Oh.
Yeah, they just did enough. Cleary, again, his kicking game's terrific.
They're going to be there, are they, the Dogs?
In the 8? I didn't have him in my 8.
I can't see them and the Dolphins.
No.
One of them won't make it. I don't know who that's going to be.
The Dolphins were pretty much in a similar position this time last year, and they just went out. Bang, 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 bang.
Who's the better team of those two?
Oh, Dolphins. Better team to watch.
Yeah. Far out. Okay, Broncos 30 defeat the Eels 14.
Eels bombed 5.
Yeah, see, again, I didn't get to see this, but they say the scoreline flattering.
Absolutely. Bombed 5. They got 2 try. Brisbane got 1 try off that sneaky chip and chase where Blaze fell over.
Yep.
And an intercept. But might have been more.
Blaze's try was sharp. I saw that.
Yeah.
Stepped on a dime.
He as you mentioned, had a few errors, but once he got the ball, something was going to happen around him.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they keep him at fullback because it didn't really work at him at centre. Well, it did, but he needs to be on the ball. He ran for over 200 metres.
Yep.
I think they've got to persevere with him. Maybe move Gutho to the centres.
Ezra Mam, 6 tries from his last 6 weeks. He's flying. Reece Walsh is flying. Marin and Walsh seem to score every week.
He's quick. Your man.
Yeah.
Soy.
Yeah, he's quick.
Very, very quick.